Well, before we get into what happened in the Cup race, let's at least go through all the other races this weekend. So, start off, truck race. So, trucks, not a whole lot really happened in the race until the end. Like, we did have a big crash at one point in the race around stage 2. It would play big impacts for guys like Ben Rhodes and Tyler Ankrum who were caught up in it. And yeah, that's going to really affect their points. But yeah, really the truck race, though, it didn't get really interesting until the end when we had Brett Moffitt and Shane Smith battling for the win at the end. And then Shane Smith spun himself out when he tried to side draft Brett Moffitt. It got too close and took himself out. Let's be real, that incident, that was Shane Smith's fault. He got too close to Moffitt and paid the price. And then in overtime, Moffitt got an easy cruise to the win. So yeah, Brett Moffitt wins his winless streak. Finally, Brett Moffitt won a race this year. Thank God. And it couldn't come at a better time. Because with this win, Brett Moffitt also is the first driver to lock himself into the championship for the Truck Series at Phoenix. So in 2 weeks, Brett Moffitt will have a chance to compete for a Truck Championship. Can Moffitt get his second title in 3 years? Tune in 2 weeks to find out. Tune in a couple weeks to find out. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, Brett Moffitt will also be running Jimmy Johnson throwback paint scheme in that said truck race. It'll be a throwback scheme to Jimmy Johnson's 2006 to 2008 paint scheme. You know, this paint scheme right here will be this scheme that we saw Alex Bowman run at Darlington back in September. Moffitt will be running that scheme in the Truck Series for a championship. And I already pre-ordered the original diecast, but if Moffitt wins the truck title, I might order the Truck Series diecast for it too, since I want to try and get as many Jimmy Johnson throwback paint schemes this year as I can. Like, I'm still trying to look for the Sheldon Creed Jimmy Johnson throwback scheme too. I haven't been able to find it either. I don't think they're doing one for Ryan Vargas from Xfinity at Darlington. But yeah, you know. And I haven't found one for Brett Moffitt's Xfinity throwback scheme he did to Jimmy Johnson's 2015 Lowe's Red Velvet scheme. But yeah, you know, just trying to get as many Jimmy Johnson throwback diecasts as I can. But yeah. And also in this race, Sheldon Creed had a really good points day to help himself out. Austin Hill had a good points day too. So yeah. Really, truck race is pretty meh. Like, it didn't get exciting really until the end. Xfinity Race, not a whole lot happened. It was probably the better race this weekend. Like, early in the race, we had some early chase implications for Noah Gragson and Austin Cindric. When both of them would wreck each other at the start of the race. Let's be real, that incident, that was really just a racing deal. Because Brandon Jones was underneath Gragson, right underneath him, Gregson's left rear quarter panel, and that probably got Gragson loose. It let Gragson go right into Austin Cindric. But hey, you know, it's good to see Cindric and Gragson get knocked out. Gragson would not be able to finish the race, so he takes a big hit in the points. However, Austin Cindric was able to repair the car and recover for a decent finish to try and salvage some points. Really, a lot of the chase drivers really struggled. Chastain and Sieg had struggling runs. Sieg was unable to get any real points. You know, really, but the big moment in the race, was, I think it was like stage 3, when Justin Allgaier got forced onto the apron in the turn on the restart. And then Allgaier got loose and got into Anthony Alfredo, causing a big crash. And then we had a rarity. We had a flip on a 1.5-mile track. As Alfredo would end up hitting the wall, and then he would go upside down and slide all the way to the bottom of turn 2 and land upside down on his roof. They had to bring the red flag out so they can clean the mess up and then get him free from the car. And Alfredo walked out uninjured, which is good. You know, it's really, the safety was really shown today. But yeah, that's interesting. That's a rarity. We almost, like a car flipping and going over onto its roof at 1.5 miles. That almost never happens. That's a rarity. We haven't had that happen in a while. Fuck. But yeah, not often you see that happen. But yeah, overall in this race, in the end, it was just a Chase Briscoe show from start to finish. Like, Briscoe completely fucking dominated. And Briscoe wins easily. So yeah, with Briscoe's dominant win, Briscoe now locks himself into the championship 4 at Phoenix in a couple weeks. But man, 9 wins for Briscoe. Not bad. Let's be real. A 9-win season for Chase Briscoe is more impressive than a 9-win Xfinity season for Kyle Busch. Considering Kyle Busch has no business being in Xfinity. But yeah, you know. But yeah, not a bad... Briscoe's having a really good season. Really dominant season. But yeah, Briscoe also making a case showing why he should be in the 14 car next year at Stewart-Haas. Don't worry, Briscoe. You're more than likely in that 14 car. I think Stewart-Haas is going to wait till the end of the year. Like I said before, I think Stewart-Haas is waiting till the end of the year so that there's no distractions. But yeah, but before we get in the Cup race, we also know that next week we have the IndyCar Championship at St. Petersburg. Scott Dixon versus Joseph Newgarden will either be crowning a 6-time champion or 3-time champion. Who will walk away with the IndyCar Championship? We'll find out. Can Dixon hang on, or will Joseph Newgarden pull an improbable comeback? We'll find out next week. Also, we got F1 back next week in Portugal. So we're going to have a brand new race on the calendar in Portugal. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. You know, watching the race in Portugal. Will Lewis Hamilton get to 92 wins and pass Schumacher and make the Boomer Meltdown, F1 Boomer Meltdown go from bad to worse? Tune in next week and we'll find out. But yeah, anyway, let's get into the Cup race. Cup race. This package needs to go. This aero package needs to fucking go. Like, this race, man, it was pretty boring. Not really a whole lot happened. Like, really the only driver that had big chase implications. Like, you had Hamlin hit the wall and got some damage, but Hamlin was able to battle back to finish 15th. You then had Kurt Busch blow his engine with 69 laps to go. Also, Kurt blowing your engine with 69 laps to go. Nice. But yeah, that's going to be big implications for Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch is now going to be in a massive hole for the rest of the round. Like, Kurt Busch is pretty much now in a must-win scenario already. But hey, you know, Kurt Busch was able to get a win last round. Can he do it again? We'll have to see. But yeah, you know, Bowman and Truex Jr., they had solid runs too. Like, Bowman got a third-place run, but he's a lot of points behind because Bowman and Truex were unable to get stage points today. Like, really, this aero package, it's like once you're the leader, no one can pass the leader. You can pass anybody else, but you couldn't pass the leader. Because clean air is goddamn god with this fucking package. Like, you can stay close to the leader and run him down, but once you get there, you can't do shit. Like, you're fucked once you get to him. We even saw that at the end. Like, Harvick was able to run down Logano how many times, but couldn't pass him. Plus, Logano conveniently just took away Harvick's line. And then Harvick couldn't do jack nor shit, which allowed Logano to cruise to the win. And Logano mainly got the lead because of having a really good pit stop and then having a good restart too. Like, we saw how much clean air was gone in this race. Like, the first stage of the race, Chase Elliott completely dominated the first part of the race. And then once Chase Elliott ended up with a bad pit stop and falling back into traffic, Chase could never recover from it. But Chase did battle back to finish 6th, had a solid points day too, along with a lot of the other drivers in the Chase field. But yeah, Logano gets the win, and Logano advances to the championship 4. Honestly, like I said, I believe Harvick and Hamlin are locks for Homestead unless one of them really fuck up. But the last 2 spots really could be anybody. But yeah, Harvick had a really solid points day too, so nothing for Harvick really to worry about. But yeah, really, this 1.5 mile package needs to go. Like, NASCAR, please get rid of this fucking package. I'm going to say it here. Get rid of the splitter. There's an easy way to fix this package. It's very simple. Get rid of the splitter, get rid of the tapered spacer, and get rid of side force. Do those And when you get rid of tapered spacer, put the engine horsepower back to 750 to 800 horsepower. Do those things, problem solved. Package is fixed. But this is NASCAR. The term common sense does not exist in NASCAR. Odds are, nothing's going to change with this package. Only hope is that NASCAR can at least apply what we want NASCAR to do with the package into the Gen 7. All I say for the Gen 7 is no tapered spacer, no splitter, no side force. None of those three things, please. And we gotta wait till 2022 for the Gen 7, because we're gonna have one more year of this package. Thank God we got 1 more mile-and-a-half race left this year, and then we got the 750 horsepower package the rest of the year. And it doesn't help that next week's race is fucking Texas, or Texas. And oh boy, Texas is gonna fucking suck if the July race was an indication of anything. Especially with how Austin Dillon won when he just took gas only and was able to get track position on pit strategy. And then was able to hold on to the lead. But yeah, this package sucks. It needs to go. This package is not fucking racing. It is complete fucking boredom NASCAR shoving down everyone's fucking throats. Like we said at the start of the year, we said, but around in 2018 when this package was being introduced, that this package was going to be a complete disaster. I said it back in 2018. This package would be a disaster. 2020, here we are. Here we are. But yeah, this package, it has to fucking go. But yeah, before we get into the Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Points, let me put one thing on the screen here real quick. Because, oh yeah. Oh my. Isn't this fucking funny, folks? What do we have here? It seems last week during my victory lab over Kyle Busch being eliminated, I may have struck a nerve or two with the Busch sexuals. So yeah, I got this email from YouTube, where YouTube sent my race review from Darlington back in May, the one where Kyle Busch dumped Chase Elliott, though, as you can see on the title there. Yeah, the Busch sexuals flagged that video. But the one thing the Busch sexuals didn't think was that YouTube would keep the video up. The video is now under an age restriction where you gotta be at least 18 to watch it. So the good news about this is that the video's still up, and I don't get a community guideline strike since the video's still up. So I still have a clean record. Like, the only strike I did have was a copyright strike from 2018 over from a wrestling show, which was footage I filmed. And I believe that strike expired back in February this year. So I still have a clean record now. I got no strikes. But really, Busch sexuals, really. In my honest opinion, Busch sexuals, why did you flag a video down for 5 months ago? 6 months ago. Like, if you're gonna flag a video down, why didn't you just flag the video from I did last week after the Charlotte race, the Charlotte review, when I flat out trashed Kyle Busch's bitch ass after the race? But no, you have to try and flag down a video from 5-6 months ago because you're all so fucking pathetic. All I have to say to Busch sexuals is, it's a really great honor to have a video flagged by you dumb bitches. Really great honor. I love it. Really great honor. I will not let you Busch sexuals down. I will treat it very well. I will make it a decision you will never regret. But anyway, I'm going to address the Busch sexuals here real quick. For the Busch sexuals that tried to flag my video down, here's a question for you. Why? What exactly were you trying to accomplish with that? Because if you're trying to do that as your clapback or response to me trashing Kyle Busch and my trash talk to Kyle Busch last week, that's not a good way to respond. Because at trash talking, once you try and flag someone's video down, you lose the argument automatically. You're not a bitch in the situation. You're not a faggot in the situation. Let me be clear, folks. Let me be clear. In trash talking, there are multiple ways to get at somebody. Flagging their videos down is not one of them. Actually, flagging people's videos down is the worst thing you could do. It's the worst option you can do in trash talking. A lot worse than challenging someone to a fight. And really, Bushsexuals, if you really thought that this was going to make you look big, going to make you look tough, it doesn't. It just makes you look like little bitches. You look like a bunch of thin-skinned little bitches that can't take criticism. Because you are. And if you really thought that trying to flag my video down was going to get Kyle Busch back in the championship hunt, wrong. That won't happen. Try however you want. Kyle Busch is eliminated, and there's nothing that's going to change it. You can try again in 2021. And Bushsexuals, if you thought that was going to stop me from trashing Kyle Busch, then you are fucking delusional. Oh, what, Bushsexuals? You're just mad because people like me, people like Space Mel Ferrari 248, people like Blaze Light 334, people like Kamikaze Games and Thrash Maniac 99 speak the truth about your man-child of a driver. Well, guess what, Bushsexuals? We're going to continue speaking the truth about Kyle Busch. And last I checked, the U.S. has this magical thing. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it, Bushsexuals, but it's called the First Amendment. And I'm pretty sure the First Amendment is freedom of speech. And last I recall, freedom of speech means you can say whatever you want, whenever you want to say it about anything. So guess what, Bushsexuals? All five of us, the four or five people I just mentioned, we're going to continue talking shit about Kyle Busch and exposing the truth about your man-child of a driver. Ain't nothing going to stop us from speaking our mind, no siree, Bob. Maybe in the end, Bushsexuals, you're just a bunch of thin-skinned little bitches that can't fucking handle the truth. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth, and that's facts. But yeah, anyway, I'm done with that little mini rant. I'm not affected by that strike. Strike, flag my video down all you want. It's not going to stop me from speaking the truth about Kyle Busch. And yeah, try to flag my video down like that was going to fucking stop me. Stupid fucking morons. And by the way, before we get into the points, fuck Kyle Busch. But let's move on to the points. So in the truck points, we got 3 spots into the final 4 still up for grabs. So you got Sheldon Creed, 26 points to the good, had a really solid day. Solid cushion, Creed's just got to do his thing and stay out of trouble in the next 2 weeks, and he'll be moving on to Phoenix. You got Austin Hill, 19 points to the good. He has a pretty good cushion too, but he's just got to do his thing and play it safe too. Just stay out of trouble, get more points, try and help yourself try and help yourself before the cutoff race at Martinsville. And you got Zane Smith, who's in that 4th and final spot. Despite the spin, Zane Smith was still able to recover, and he's still 7 points above the cutoff line. So you got Grant Enfinger, who's 7 points out, so Enfinger's going to need to either win or get a little help there and try and he's got to at least finish ahead of Zane Smith the next couple weeks to have a legit shot. Matt Crafton, he lost a bit of ground there, 15 points out. Crafton just needs to try and get some solid runs going, maybe try and get another win if he wants to have any shot at having a shot at repeating as champion again. Ben Rhodes, he's 33 points out. He's in a giant hole. So Ben Rhodes, he's almost in a must-win scenario. Not quite yet, but he's going to need a lot of help if he's going to have any hope of moving on into Phoenix in 2 races. And you got Tyler Ankrum, who's 56 points out. Almost a full race out. So Tyler Ankrum, he's going to need a lot of help if he wants to have a shot at moving on into the Championship 4. But yeah, those are the truck points. Now let's move on to Xfinity. Now to the Xfinity points. The Xfinity points is very close here. It's really up in the air here. Allgaier enters now 11 points above the cutoff line after his little incident there causing Alfredo to go up and over. He also got Brandon Jones 9 points. It's very close here. And he got Austin Cindric, who was able to recover and minimize the damage he suffered from the Gragson crash and able to be 2 points above the cutoff line. Justin Haley's now 2 points below the cutoff line. Chastain's 12 points below the cutoff line. So Chastain's going to need to have some solid runs here the rest of the round if he wants to have a chance to move on to the Phoenix for the Xfinity Championship 4. Ryan Sieg, he needs to find a way to get points. If he's had good runs, but Ryan Sieg needs to find a way to get some points if he wants to have any chance of moving on to Phoenix. And you got Noah Gragson 33 point into the 33-point hole. So Gregson's got a lot of work to do. He either needs to win or he's going to need to make up a lot of points. Either way, he's going to need a lot of help if he's going to have a chance to compete for a championship this year. But really, so far, the Xfinity cutoff line is really close heading to Texas. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens at Texas. Now to the Cup points. They got Kevin Harvick, of course, another solid run in the gazillion fucking chase pull bonus points he has. Harvick's still 41 points above the cutoff line, so Harvick's really good on points right now. You know, the only way I think Harvick doesn't make the Final Four is if he has a bad race or two. He would need to have back-to-back bad races to have a shot at missing out. But I think Harvick is pretty much locked in, too. Hamlin, he has a pretty good cushion, too, at 20 points. He was able to recover from the damage and get a top 15 and salvage something. You know, but Hamlin, you know, he just needs to do his thing. He just needs to stay out of trouble, just get some points. And I think Hamlin will be pretty safe at home and to Phoenix, too. I really think that fourth spot, though, that fourth and final spots could really be anybody. You got Keselowski, who had a solid points day, finishing being 8 points above the cutoff line. You got Chase Elliott, who had a solid points day despite being stuck in traffic and being unable to recover from the bad pit stop. Still 8 points below the cutoff line. Like Alex Bowman, he had a good run, but Bowman and Truex, they both need to get stage points, with Bowman and Truex Jr. being 27 and 31 points below the cutoff line, respectively. And then you got Kurt Busch. That engine failure has really put him in a hole. 73 points below the cutoff line. Over a full race out on points. Like, Kurt Busch is pretty much in a must-win scenario the next 2 weeks. And he has 2 shots to make it in. And also for the truck race, I forgot to mention, congrats to Hailie Deegan on her great run, on her great debut run, finishing 16th. Highest finish for a female debuting in the Truck Series in Truck Series history. That's actually a very impressive mark. And Hailie Deegan will be running full-time in trucks in 2021 for DGR Crosby. So yeah, gonna be interesting to see how Hailie takes steps forward in her development. And I feel like she's gonna be the one that replaces Kevin Harvick when Harvick hangs it up at Stewart-Haas when Harvick finally retires. Since Harvick is really getting up there in age. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, anyway, that's all I gotta say for this. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, hail the new C-Rad.